Gary, I've been out in the parking lot, obviously talking to people who were inside the gym when this happened. And joining me right now is Tracy Smith and Jill Mazer. These ladies were inside, had just gone inside the LA Fitness. Tracy, tell me what you saw and heard in there.
I didn't see anyone. I was about 10 yards away, and I heard shots. I heard about 7 or 8 before I left, and then people started running out of that area and said it was a shooting.
Did you realize what it was at first?
No, at first I thought, this sounds funny, but I thought it was someone hitting a mat against a wall, and the people around me seemed to think the same thing. Everyone was looking in that direction, and then we realized it was a shooting, and then everybody sprinted out. And
Jill, you were a few steps behind. You were just getting in the door, or did you not even get in the door?
I was just getting in the door. I was running a minute late. I'm always running late. Yeah, I was just getting in the door, and then everyone came flooding out, and I said, what's going on? And they were all screaming, and some were crying, and some guy grabbed my arm and said, come with me, and I got in his car, and he said, duck down. He said, there's been a shooting, and I drove away with this guy, and then my instinct was to call her because I knew I was meeting her there, and I was worried something happened.
Yeah. This is obviously pretty tough, not what you expected when you come in, and you guys normally come at 8 o'clock. This happened about 8:15. So on a normal night, you would have been in there.
Yeah, we randomly decided today to meet at 8:15 because I thought we needed an extra 15 minutes.
And I was 1 minute late, and I stopped outside my car, and the air was so nice, I just kind of stood there for a minute. I never do that, but I just kind of stood there for a minute, just enjoying the air. And if I'd been there 1 minute sooner, we would have started. We would have been about a foot away from them.
Yeah, we do usually work out in an area right around the room, so we would have been right there. But thank God we're not.
Yeah.
That's the aerobic room that you're talking about, where from what we understand, is where this shooting took place. The lights went out, and then the shots began there. You guys were headed not to that room, though. You were headed to that area.
There's chin-up bars around that area, and we always do our pull-ups first, so that's where we would have been.
How did people react? Was there a panic, a lot of fear?
Everyone was grabbing people because everyone was just trying to help other people get out. Like I said, this stranger that I didn't even know, he grabbed my arm, and he was took me under his wing and pulled me into his car and drove away with me. He didn't even know who I was.
What was going through your mind when all this was happening?
I was just panicked, and I was trying to tell. I went through the pool area, and people didn't know what was going on, so I was just screaming, you got to get out, you got to get out. And it was just panic. Everyone was running different directions. And
now, we know about 11 people were shot. Did you guys see any of the victims?
No.
Okay.
No. But a lot of my friends go, yeah.
One of your friends was hit?
Well, no, a lot of my friends, everyone I know. I mean, I know everyone that goes to LA Fitness because we go there every single night. I know all their friends. I know all my friends. Everyone that goes there are all my friends.
So you're concerned about them?
Yeah, I don't know if any of them are shot or not.
Have you been talking to other people? Have you guys heard who was hit? Do you know any of these people?
I called some of my friends. I don't have everyone's phone numbers, but I called some of my friends just to make sure they were okay, and obviously her.
Now you guys are still out here because you're not allowed back into the facility. Is that right?
Yeah, we're waiting till they let us back in. My car keys are in there and all my stuff, so we're just waiting till they let us in.
All right. Tracy and Jill, thank you very much for your time tonight. We appreciate it. We're going to continue this, actually. I believe we have somebody else to talk to.